Patrick, I appreciate you making some time for me this afternoon. As we talked about the other day, your program with us is coming due.
Yep.
And I know we've worked together a couple of years now. Your business has changed quite a bit over those 2 years. And I know you've relied heavily on digital marketing to generate leads and new customers to your business.
Right.
So what I did before I came out today was took a little time to do some homework related to the digital landscape in general and how that relates specifically to your business and your industry.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is take a little time to run through that. I think you're going to find the information extremely helpful and insightful. And along the way, I want to get your feedback, hear your thoughts, feelings, opinions, and also learn about your goals for the future as well.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
Sounds good to me, Nate. Thanks.
All right. So more specifically, what we'll cover here, market demographics, and then we're going to do a critical analysis on the following: website aesthetics,
Yep.
your website, how it looks, how people view it, SEO metrics, how well you're showing up on the search engines, your dexknows.com conversion page, that's the profile page that we're currently using to drive leads to you
Okay.
as it sits right now. And then we're also going to look at reputation management and visibility, your visibility throughout the web, and then how people are viewing you, what they're seeing about you.
Is that like reviews and?
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
Exactly. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
So the first thing I did was just did a simple search: limousine service, Burnsville, Minnesota.
Okay.
Is that relevant to you?
And show up number one there, right?
You're number one. That's the good news. Do you think it's a relevant search?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I completely agree, and it's good that you're showing up number one there. That's what I would want to be if I was in your shoes. Sounds like you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I notice as I do this search, you're number one, which is a good thing. There's a lot of other people on the page.
Right.
You've got a number of competitors. It's a competitive business, would you agree?
There's a lot of them out there. Yeah.
And as I've looked, I know, when you first started this, your primary competitive advantage was you. You were doing almost all the driving yourself.
Owner operated. Yeah.
Exactly. And now I imagine that's changed slightly as you've grown.
It has not as many late nights for me, especially with the weddings, the bachelor parties, and that kind of thing. I am able to give some of those late night guys to my other drivers. But the corporate stuff,
Good.
the daytime stuff, I still get to do a lot of it, which actually I like, and I think my customers like that I'm actually driving. I'm the business.
Mm-hmm.
As well, but hiring people's obviously good too. The more vehicles I can get on the road, the more I'm making in a day.
Is that the way it works? The more you can get on the road, the more you're making?
Yep.
Okay. How many people do you have working for you now?
I've got 4 cars,
Okay.
and so pretty much the most I can have is 4 drivers then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some weekends I only have 2 of the 4 cars running,
Okay.
right? Weekdays, again, I might have 1, I might have all 4 running, depending on what I've got going on, what kind of corporate transportation's going on versus parties and that.
But you've skewed much more heavily towards corporate.
Right.
Okay. I imagine that's the reverse of a lot of your competitors. Probably their cars are busy on the weekends and not during
And
the
they
week.
can have that business.
Okay.
They can have it, it's just not worth it's price and the time you're doing, and the hours and just the, yes, everybody's having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
but it just leads to more trouble, too. More cleanup, more mess, more,
Makes sense, and the good news is you know what you want.
yes,
A lot
more
of people-
corporate.
Yeah, well, that's good. A lot of people I talk to don't know the direction of your business. You're decisive on it, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You've got 2 cars sitting idle on the weekend. You're cool with that, or do you want to at least fill up the cars that you have?
Yes, if it was more of the weddings,
Okay.
in the winter, obviously it's the Christmas lights, maybe it's an anniversary kind of thing. I would really just get out of the party vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be transporting people for bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, the 21st birthdays and those kind of things. Yeah, I'll be honest, even the things too, for football games, for the Vikings and all of that, yeah, I might want to get out of that kind of stuff too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it becomes a mess. And yeah, you make money at it, but it's not really what I wanna do.
Okay. So
More
your,
corporate accounts,
Yeah.
right, more sightseeing, more anniversaries, that's what I'd rather.
funerals?
Sure,
Okay. I don't know how many you get for that, but,
not often, but anytime you're getting several people together who are out of town or who don't wanna drive, don't know the area, I want them to find me.
okay. Just as long as it's not too party related.
There you go.
That makes sense. Is your plan to stay with about 4 cars?
I'd really have to see the business pick up before I really can go buy another car.
Okay.
And legitimately go to the bank and say, hey, I need a loan for another car, and here's the business. Yeah. I would just really need to see it pick up.
Okay. Is that something you want to see?
You know, yes. Yeah, today, no. Talk to me early 2015.
Okay.
You know, 6, 9 months, I might start thinking more seriously about it. 9 months, more seriously, just not today. I don't think it's gonna impact what we're talking about today.
6 months comes pretty quick.
Yeah,
I mean, is it 6 months before you start thinking about it, or 6 months before you'd like to have the wheels in motion?
6 months, I should probably have that stuff in motion.
Okay.
You're starting to pick up for the spring stuff again, but
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm in full blown, still summer mode, still lots of weddings, still lots of stuff going on, so
Mm-hmm.
tough to even really think about it right now.
Okay, so some of it's a volume thing, some of it's just the time you need to allocate to strategize and get your head wrapped around everything.
Right.
That makes
Because
sense.
ultimately too, if I need to, but if I get another car, I need to get another driver. Buying a car is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the right driver is the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I probably need to spend more of my time. And making sure I'm picking the right things there, doing the right things there.
So do you need your marketing in place for a while to make you feel comfortable, that increased volume of leads, or are you comfortable with getting the car, getting the driver?
No,
flipping the
I've got a car sitting idle right now,
Yep,
right? So, yeah, I could use more business now.
okay.
But if I was gonna grow more cars, more drivers, obviously I need more business.
Mm-hmm.
And that would start tomorrow. I mean, I've got two jobs tomorrow I'm doing.
Okay.
Got the capacity to do 4, right, or more, so.
So your cars are full during the week, or they're not?
No.
Okay.
No, I've got a couple of routine things. I've actually got no, I'm not full.
Okay. How many more jobs do you need in a week?
If they're special occasion kind of things, I could easily do 2 on weekends.
Yep.
In the weekdays, I could easily pick up another 2 or 3,
Okay.
depending on what they're on, if they're airport trips, right? If it's picking up an executive at the airport, shuttling them out to his Eden Prairie office or downtown office, waiting there for a few hours, taking them back to the office or back to the airport.
2 to 3 a day during the week?
I could,
Okay.
yeah,
Between your 4 cars?
no problem.
Okay. Is that something you want?
Give me the phone calls, give me the jobs.
Sounds good. I know we've talked about ROI on marketing before.
Yep.
Are you pretty dialed in on your expectation? You've been willing to spend money in the past as long as you get money back out of it?
That's it. It's really a try and track. You know, that's the other thing, being the face of the company. Being able to answer the phones,
Mhm.
I'm able to kind of know what I'm getting out of this. You know, and you've been with me for a couple of years, appreciate everything. Nate, what you're doing is bringing me business. You know, it's working, right? But in the end, yeah, I don't want to spend money if it's not going to work.
Have you figured out what your average ticket is?
Yes, weekends could be $300 to $500.
Okay, that makes sense.
Some of these corporate kind of things, you know, it's $100 to $200, but it's repeat.
Yeah?
You know, whereas a weekend you might do it one time and you'll never see that group of people again.
Mm-hmm.
But corporate stuff's more steady.
Mm-hmm. Which is why you want to go
And
that direction.
scheduled, you know, and then I know every Tuesday I'm picking up this doctor, and driving over to the St. Cloud office and then picking them back up
And you do that on a regular basis?
every Tuesday. I pick up 2 doctors every Tuesday, shuttle them up there.
That's
They
good.
practice up there, it saves them, they don't have to drive, they're able to work on the way up, do their paperwork and that kind of thing.
Need more of those.
And yeah, that's a good, it's a good customer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good. We'll work on helping you get more of those.
Okay.
That's the ultimate goal, right?
Yep.
You mentioned answering the phones yourself. You have any concept of what your conversion rate is? If you get 5 calls, how many of those will convert to a new customer?
If I was to break that apart in a weddings and special, just lump all special occasions together, 1 out of 3.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of them are just price shopping
Mhm.
and availability.
Yeah, what date you're open.
Yeah, shopping, and I'll pick a number, 25 to 33%, somewhere 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4.
Okay.
I might be getting. On the corporate, I bet I'm 50%, if
That's
not a
good.
little higher. I think I'm just able to connect with people over the phone. A lot of times it's the assistant, you know, and once they're calling you, as long as you're open, right, that's what they really care about.
You answer the phone, you're professional.
There you go.
Good communication, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Would you say you get fewer corporate calls?
By
than-
far.
Yeah. But your conversion rate's higher.
But my conversion rate's higher, and so, anything you can show me here on how I'm gonna get more corporate work, I'll take it.
Let's definitely look at that. What's your expected ROI on your advertising?
Well, my break even really is about 3 to 1.
Okay.
That covers some of the overhead and things. So
It's a good investment at 3 to 1?
it's, yeah, I'll listen to you.
Okay.
Anything less than that,
It's not worth doing.
right?
That's fair. At least we know where we sit, right? Your key competitive differences, you hit on a few of them. The communication. How has that changed since you've been hiring more people? Because it's not just you. I'm assuming you have high expectations for your other drivers as well. But tell me about what's separating you from some of these other limousine companies.
I don't think it's a big difference, but I think it is a big difference. There's obviously jobs that I can't get out and do.
Mm-hmm.
But my number one goal after that is the follow-up contact phone call.
Okay.
You typically the next day,
Okay.
if not within 24 hours, to see what their experience was, thank them for their business, and see if there's anything else in the near future that I can be helping them with.
That's good.
Simple follow-up. Again, people appreciate the small business owner contact with it, and I think that, you know, certainly takes a little bit of time every day to follow up, but if it's not something I went out on, I wanna follow up on my other drivers and just make sure that they're, and it goes back, and then I'm able to, you know, talk to those drivers and thank them for what they did, right?
That's a good point.
So I've got stories then to share with my drivers as to they appreciated what you did here. And the drivers feel appreciated then. So the customers appreciated the customer and the employee.
It's working. And you've
So
grown
far.
from 1 car to 4, so something's working.
Yeah.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. All right, so far as the digital analysis, did another search here online. My search is limousine service, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Is that one relevant to you?
Yeah, I'm not number 1 there anymore.
No, in fact, you're not on the page at all,
Oh.
which is okay. I mean, it's a competitive search, you're in a competitive business like we talked about before. But how important is it to you to start showing up on searches like that?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm surprised I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do to get there? I mean, yeah, it's important.
Yeah. It is important, and there's a couple of ways that we can attack it. And ultimately, once we run through all this, I'll make a recommendation to you as far as the best way to do it. Are you familiar with how this page lays out, like who is showing up where and why?
No, why, I mean, first, why am I not there?
It's
Or
good.
why is somebody else there?
It's a good question. So as we break down this page, real simply, if you look at the top in the right here, everybody that's showing up in those spots is paying for advertising.
Okay.
You may have heard of Google AdWords,
Yep.
pay-per-click advertising, that's what this is.
Yep.
So every time somebody clicks on one of those ads, somebody's paying for it.
Okay.
The other portion of the page here is what they call the organic or the free listings, you may have heard it referred as. Who's showing up here and what order they show up is determined by a formula at Google. You can't pay for a specific spot there, but you
Okay.
could pay a company like Dex to work on your site to give you the opportunity to show up there.
Okay.
So really, when you're not showing up there, you need to start paying for optimization likely, or start paying for an AdWords campaign, paid ad SEM campaign.
Okay. Hey, aren't I paying you already?
Yeah, you are. You do have a budget for search engine marketing, which we would incorporate with Google AdWords.
Okay.
The thing that's purely budget based, so how much you show up is going to be dependent on your budget.
Okay.
Somebody with a $300 a month budget is not going to show up as often as somebody with a $3,000 a month budget.
Okay.
Neither is good or bad. It's just the reality of what it is. So you're not going to, at your budget, you're not going to show up on every
Okay.
search every
Again,
time.
budget based, yeah. Okay.
But you are getting good leads off of it.
Right.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right. Next thing I did was just we talked about why aren't you showing up there?
Right.
The optimization piece. I just did a quick analysis on your website to kind of see how the search engines are viewing it.
Okay.
Ran that through a company called Boostability. They're known for search engine optimization, very strong name in the marketplace. It's their software I use to do an analysis on your site. So I'll run through it here real quickly. First thing I look at is, have you heard of Google PageRank?
No.
Real simply, Google goes and ranks every website out there from a 0 to a 10.
Okay.
Almost nobody's a 10. Google's probably close, but that's about it. Most small businesses I meet with are between a 0 and a 3.
Okay.
You're a 1. So you're in the game. That's part of what factors into who's showing up in that organic section.
Okay.
And that's something we can address as well. Other things, your domain's going to expire here in September.
Yeah.
So just as an FYI, make sure you get that renewed.
Thank you for reminding me. Appreciate it.
It's important to keep that. You've had it for going on 3 years.
As long as I've had the business.
And you want to hold it. Your customers get to know that URL, and the search engines also recognize the length of time you've had it.
Okay.
So it'd be my recommendation to make sure you keep that going. And then we also show how many pages you have indexed with the search engines. You have a pretty simple site. Google, Yahoo, and Bing are each picking up 3 pages off your site.
Okay.
So if they're finding you, that's a good thing. Also just did an analysis throughout the entire web, not just with the search engines, but there's a lot of these other sites you'll see out there. Superpages.com, the DexKnows.coms, I'm sure you're familiar with, but there's also Facebook and Yelp and White Pages and MapQuest.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some room for opportunity here.
Okay.
I would say you're showing up on a couple of them, but there's a lot of these that I just listed off that aren't picking up your information.
So, I'm just thinking of referrals and repeat. Obviously, if they're looking for me, they might be finding bad information, wrong information,
Or none at all.
or not at all.
Yeah, and I look at this a couple of ways. One, the search engines generally like if you have good, accurate information throughout the web.
Right.
It's a good thing. It's also from a client-based standpoint, a good thing to have good, accurate information throughout the web.
Okay. Yeah, that's concerning to me.
So you consider that an area of opportunity to improve on.
Absolutely. You can't let repeat referral business go simply because they don't have the right phone number for you.
I completely agree with you. I looked, didn't see anything. Are you doing anything with social media, Facebook, Twitter?
Nope. I've really struggled with that, Nate. Everybody says you got to be on Facebook. Everybody says you got to be on these other things. Maybe, but I've been reading on. I'm just not finding any business that's really making any money off of Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook's making a bunch of money, but I don't know that any small business owner is really making money off of Facebook, and so I've just stayed away from it. busy running my business, don't do it.
Do you think there's any opportunity there for you?
Opportunity? Sure, if you can show me how somebody's making money off of Facebook, again, other than Facebook, I'd listen to you.
Okay.
You know, just not seeing it.
I'll give you my quick just assessment on Facebook. I agree with you in that business owners are having a very hard time seeing an ROI and monetizing what Facebook is bringing into their business. There's potential opportunity there for those that want to use it. There's a lot of successful businesses that don't. There's a lot of successful businesses that do. I look at it like you mentioned earlier how important repeat and referral business is.
Right.
Facebook, there's kind of two aspects to it in my opinion. One is if you can get people to follow you and like you, you can send them out a message every so often. You keep your business name top of mind. It can really accelerate your repeat and referral business. There's another side of it where, say it's a new potential corporate customer, executive administrative assistant is doing a search looking for, you know, corporate transportation, Twin Cities.
Right.
They come upon your webpage, they're going to size up your business looking at your webpage. The next step they could make is just to search for you by name, preferred limousine.
Right.
See what comes up. Well, they're looking for the other information that comes up. I guess I look at that as if a Facebook page comes up that has good information on it, nice pictures, and somebody's actively involved with it, it shows something about that business. It's
Okay.
versus if I do a search, come across a website that I'm not really thrilled about, see that they have a Facebook page but they haven't updated it in 2 years. What does that tell me about the business?
Or, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying you have to have Facebook to be a successful business, but I do see areas where for you especially, it could help you.
Okay.
I think it's something worth taking a deeper
Well,
look at.
yeah, I mean, you know, do you guys get involved with Facebook? Because isn't it all free? I mean, I just don't have the time to be doing it.
Yeah, you're right. You can set up a page for free, but it's the managing part that small business owners struggle with that we can help you with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we'll look at that when we're looking at how we can help you get these cars
Okay.
at capacity. We'll incorporate that into the program. Your dexknows.com conversion page.
Yep.
Have you looked at it recently?
Not since you and I last updated it. Isn't this what we looked at maybe about a year ago?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you haven't looked at it, you're normal.
Okay.
Thank
you.
The good news is we have good information on it.
Yep.
It's completely filled out. You're getting a lot of good activity off of it. I always just take this time. If there's any little or big things we can do to make it work even better, we always want to look at it.
Okay.
And ultimately, I'll leave here and go back and put together some more specific information that's going to help you get more leads coming into your business and fill up your capacity on your cars. And I'm going to do another, I've taken some notes here and done some homework on just my ideas
Yep.
that we can incorporate, and I'm going to look at adding a few other things, like specifically even highlighting corporate business even more than you are right now.
Okay. You know, just looking at this, I've got pictures of the other cars.
Yeah.
Can you get those in for me then as well?
Yeah, we can add photos to the gallery. The other thing is, do you have an actual logo that you're using now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We should replace this photo with your actual logo as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, I can get that emailed. Yeah, I've got an electronic copy of it. I can email you.
If you can send that to me, that'd be great. But you do have a complete profile. The other thing that comes to mind for me is starting to shift away. Well, we've got to incorporate. It's not just you anymore.
Right.
It's all of your other drivers, and that follow-up, I think, is a big deal. It sounds like
Okay.
you do too from
Yep.
your feedback that you've gotten. We should incorporate that into here as
Okay.
well. Anything else that you can think of that we should make sure we have in there?
No, I think you've got it.
Okay. Mobile, I'm not going to say a lot about this. Mobile is important for pretty much every business right now. For a limousine business, how important do you think it is for you?
Obviously, when I'm driving, I can't be using a phone,
Mm-hmm.
right? In fact, I make a point of making sure that my phone is in the glove compartment, that my customers never see me on the phone. I
Mhm.
don't want them worrying about it. So, cell phones, I guess I'm not really overly concerned about it. I don't know.
How about when people are trying to contact you, do you think it's important that they can get your information on a mobile phone if they were doing a search for limousines?
Yeah, but I'm not a taxi, so I can't
Yep.
imagine somebody sitting on a street corner looking for a limo. So, no.
Okay. It's fair enough. I'll tell you that I believe it's important.
Okay.
You look at studies and they show that mobile searches are gonna outpace desktop searches by the end of this year. So is it important for a taxi? Yes, absolutely. It's extremely important, but it's important for every business. Just the way people are searching now, I could be hiring a landscape contractor. Is it important for them to be mobile optimized? At first glance, you might say no. I mean, people are gonna do that search at a desktop, right? But that's not necessarily, people are searching on whatever device is available at whatever time they have available. So
Okay.
it could be a mom at her kid's soccer game in a lawn chair booking car service at an auto repair shop,
Right.
booking a limousine, researching landscapers about a landscaping project in who's gonna get the visibility there, the person that has information that's available
Right.
on mobile phones or the person that isn't.
Well, my website shows up on a phone. I guess I haven't done it.
Yeah, it does show up on a phone, you're right. Here's a snapshot of your website. It shows up on the phone, and I just took a look at your website in general and tried to look for some tips and
Mhm.
pointers that I can give you to help you out. It shows up on a mobile phone, but it's not mobile optimized.
Okay.
Does that term mean anything to you?
Nope.
So mobile, do you search on mobile phones yourself? Have you done searches?
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever come across a site where you're trying to read something and you have to keep
Oh, yeah.
doing this to try to scroll
Right,
down.
Right,
Those sites generally aren't mobile optimized.
okay.
You maybe come across another one where all of a sudden the buttons get real big and it's
Yeah, I
got,
suddenly don't have my glasses on.
exactly,
I
and
can
it,
just- Yeah,
you wanna call them, it's click to call and it's right there, that's when a site is mobile optimized.
okay.
So yours shows up, you can see just about any site on a mobile phone, but I think you're seeing an opportunity here for mobile
Probably a
optimization.
bad user experience, bad customer experience, if I'm making them pinch and zoom and everything, okay.
For that mother at the soccer game sitting in the lawn chair,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she's, okay.
How do you feel about your website in general?
Good, it's bringing me business, it's cheap, it's easy to update, you know, going back to your ROI, I think my ROI, it brings me a lot of business,
Yep,
and I don't pay much for it,
okay,
so, it's good.
it's good. Is it the website you want? Is it the way you want it to be?
It's a good question. Do you have better ideas?
Well,
I mean, you know, I know people, some limousine service have scheduling abilities right there.
Mhm.
You know, again, I don't have the ability to be taking reservations while I'm driving, so online reservation system, not overly important to me, or, you know, I want the phone call, you know, I want to be able to talk to them. I don't know, you got better ideas?
it depends how happy you are with it.
Okay.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the perfect website that you want for your business, where do you rate this one?
Yeah, it was a good start.
Okay,
Obviously I need photos updated, I could get pictures of the drivers, I could get, yeah. It's maybe it was a good start, maybe a 5. Because
Okay.
where I'm looking to take my business, yeah, I'm not a 10, it's not a 10.
okay. Is it a priority for you to get to a 10?
Yeah, yes, but, you know, I'm the one maintaining and updating this thing,
Mhm.
and I just don't have the time to be doing it.
That's fair. You need somebody to help you. You want it redone, you want photos, you want a better image, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I might even have to say I want somebody to do it for me, because yeah, I just don't have the time to be maintaining it,
That's fair. It's,
so.
you've got a limousine business to run, right? But you want to.
Yeah, I'm not a website developer.
And I agree with what you're saying, kind of your assessment. I'd say your site's okay, and if you said, hey, that's all I want, I can live with it, cool, let's make that one the best you can. But if you really wanna take it up a level, and I'm working with a lot of people at your same stage right now, where you have a website, it's been built, it's been out there for a while, it's somewhat stagnant, and you wanna really take it to the next level, that's something we can take a look at, if it's something you're serious about doing.
Okay. How expensive are they?
They're competitive in the marketplace. I can tell you flat out, we have two levels of websites. We have a templated website, which is more similar to where you're at right now. I wouldn't recommend you go to that because it's too similar. If we're gonna take a serious look at it, I would look at what we call a custom website,
Okay.
where it's a website built specifically for your business. It's not a deal where you choose from 1,000 templates and adapt it to yours. You get a website developer, they write copy for you, they do the whole deal
Okay. So I don't have to, like this I built.
that you build. Here's what, you have to be engaged,
Okay.
you have to take the phone call, you have to talk to the developer, but
okay.
they'll take it from there. They'll get you something to preview, something to look at, we'll come up with something that works for you.
Okay. Yeah, give me ideas on that.
Sounds good. I will absolutely do that. Here's some of what, and I'll just hit on this real quickly. This is, as I mentioned, kind of some of the key points that I look at for that profile and things we should add to it. This is some of the information I look at, and this actually applies to a website as well. And I'll tell you, this doesn't come from me specifically, it's done through market research, what users want to see when they land on a website or a profile page. Our web developers will incorporate this in as they're building your site, and you and I can use it as we update your profile page. And I've
Okay.
done a lot of this for you, but I'm gonna leave this packet with you so you've got it, and if you ever need it, it's
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
So we talked about a lot of things, and I know there's some areas that I can help you with. You mentioned you wanna see more about the social, right?
Yep.
We wanna look at upgrading your website.
Right.
You'd like to have a better presence on the search engines.
Yeah, you made me think of terms like, I don't know if executive transportation. 'Cause I think you showed me some searches like limousine
Mm-hmm.
transportation or something like that, but there must be other terms that are more corporate related.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any data on that or anything to know what are people searching for?
Let's pull some.
Because I show up fine for limousine service, right? But what about executive transportation or corporate travel
yeah.
or corporate transportation or there's probably a bunch of keywords or terms that I'm probably missing out on there.
I agree, I think that's a good point, yeah, let's pull some data, let's look at that.
Okay.
Do you think that's higher priority to go after this corporate specific terms on the search engines rather than the general terms, just like limousine Minneapolis?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the surf
worth
traffic?
exploring. Yeah.
What's the surf traffic for each one of them? Do you know that? I mean, do you have the ability to look and see?
We can get a general idea, Google will give us some information, they won't give us everything,
Okay.
but we can definitely look at that, and I can
Okay.
bring you some ideas from that standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately showing up, I think you showed me I showed up in Burnsville. That's
Mhm.
great, that's where I'm at. Minneapolis, I mean, think of all the suburbs around here, and yeah, and then all the terms, holy cow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of searches. The reality of it is you'll never show up on all of them likely,
Okay.
but how do we get you on enough to get you what you need, because it's ultimately about filling up your 4 cars and adding a 5th at some point, right?
All with an ROI.
Yes.
It still makes sense to me at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if we're prioritizing new website, showing up on the search engines, fixing those listings throughout the web, how do you prioritize that? In your mind, what are your top priorities?
Putting people in my cars,
Okay.
whatever is going to get them
Okay.
there faster.
It's
Right.
about leads.
Right now, people are calling me from my website. Would I like a better website? Absolutely.
Okay.
I would like newer cars, but I make money off the cars I have right now.
Okay.
So I don't know that I need to upgrade maybe my website today.
Okay.
But if there's ways that I can generate more phone calls, that's going to put more people in my cars.
Phone calls is top priority, anything that produces calls.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's work on that.
Okay.
I will go back, do some more homework for you, come back out with my recommendation as far as what you should do to help you get these additional leads
Okay.
to keep your cars going.
Sounds good.
All right? Thank you for your time.
Yep.